Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Dojo Live recap show. Today is Monday, April 26, 2021. I'm Tulio Ragusa, broadcasting from Southern California, rainy Southern California today. And I'm
Oh,
joined by Carlos Ponce in Cuernavaca, Mexico, and Kim Lantis in
cheers.
Hermosillo, Mexico.
Hey,
Yes, cheers.
cheers. Where's it?
Cheers.
Water versus wine.
Yeah, well, she can turn the former into the latter, right?
Oh, is that so? You
Yeah,
got those
probably.
miracle abilities.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All
That would
right.
be something.
Remember, she brings
So
the fun energy and the
the
magic to the
f-
show.
that's
Yeah.
right, and you bring the silence, of
Yes,
course.
exactly.
So we're bantering because we only had one show last week, and usually we do the recap in 10 minutes. So uh, we're trying to squeeze in 4 shows in 10 minutes. Today we're going to stretch one show in 10 minutes. So the show was, well, we also going to make some announcements. We got some exciting things happening here at Dojo Live. We're expanding our shows. We'll talk about that after we do the recap. So, just a second. Hold on to that thought. The show last week was customer success, evolving from narrow scope to C scope. We had Shreesha Ramdas, who's the GM and SVP at Strikedeck-Medallia. He was actually the founder and CEO of Strikedeck that got acquired by Medallia, and has been a pioneer of customer success for many, many years. And the one thing that was clear with the conversation we had was that the companies that are doing it right have the C suite executives involved in the process of pushing the customer success initiatives across the organization. And the reason for that is because they see it as a strategic effort to, one, better serve customers, two, gain insights that we would otherwise not gain by having those relationship tightly wound with customers, and finally, when it comes to customer success, it is a, I've always believed you're either growing the account base or you're shrinking it. There's no standing still. So it is a sales effort. It's a farming sales effort, but nonetheless, it is a sales effort. And the companies that view it that way see the strategic value from that. What did you guys gain
And
from
be-
the conversation?
and become customer obsessed, as it is now said. All
Absolutely,
right.
absolutely. What
Yeah.
stood out for you guys? That's what stood out for me.
Yeah, I think that, and well, I just mentioned it. I mean, you cannot get to a point where you can actually create a company from the ground up and exit it successfully without becoming customer obsessed, because I think that customers are your customer base at the end of the day is the what defines at some point your level of success. You cannot have one without the other. So if Shreesha actually managed to come to a point where he exited the company very successfully, then it tells us a lot about what customer obsession is. And so there's no. I think that for me, the way I see it is that's the only way to go. It's like, or at least it's one of the most important items to go. Is when you become obsessed with your customers. Your customers love you. You're successful at whatever it is that you're embarking on. It's to me, as a layman, as a user, as a non-expert, that's that's the way I see it. That's what happened here. That's what we saw in the conversation.
Yeah, I think my biggest takeaway is the fact that customer success, needs to be thought about and put on the table from the very beginning, right? Something that really should be, just as you're getting your company started, a major focus, and that role should have a proper seat at the table, so to speak, right? The C-level role, somebody who's completely involved in every aspect, just as much of a decision maker, as your CTO, CMO, CFO, you name it, right? The C-level. And just sort of how it is, at least my understanding, this role kind of many hats, right? It's sort of like that. It's everyone's job, but it's no one's job. And I think if we keep having that ostrich, head in the sand sort of perspective, then we're missing out on a lot. And so to really make it an official job and giving it the importance that it has to fully take advantage of the data and whatever else that you're discovering on all facets with somebody who has the ability to communicate that across the entire company is really intriguing.
You know, I have to say, over the years, the one thing I've seen that most companies that are very effective in maintaining strong, sticky relationships with their customers, they all have one thing in common. They have a land and expand strategy. They sell a logo, they bring it in, and then they expand it, and they put a lot of energy into that expansion. And there's a lot of best practices, from quarterly business reviews to semi-annual summits to mastermind meetings. There's round tables, customer council. There are so many different initiatives and best practices to get really good at connecting with your customers. And but what's great about today is that a lot of these things are automated. You have the technology that can facilitate all these activities, whereas before you only had a few really senior people that knew these things very well. And so if you were managing those relationships from those senior folks, they got served well. The newbies perhaps weren't doing as good as a job, right? They didn't have the tools, they didn't have the wherewithal to get this be effective at it. But with this technology, with automation, there's really no excuse. You know, you can actually enable everyone in the organization to be more effective at managing the customer success. So that's the key thing, is the advantage of the advancements in technology. Any other comments, guys, before we announce what's coming up?
No, I mean, I look forward to announcing what's coming up because I think it's getting exciting here at DojoLIVE. Wouldn't you agree, Tulio?
Absolutely. Okay.
And Kim, of course.
So
I don't agree. Okay.
For those of you who've been following us for some time now, for several years, first of all, we're almost at 500 interviews. We're going to announce that soon when that happens. But last year, we did half of all the interviews we've done in the past 4 or 5 years, which is phenomenal. We added literally a segment every day but Friday, right? It's like, why not Friday? Because we want to have lunch one day a week. So that's why we don't have it on Friday.
Or wine.
Or wine.
Or
so,
wine.
So we also added a segment on Wednesday mornings at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, which is more focused on digital transformation. So as of today, we have the 12 p.m. show, which is talking to all the technology luminaries about the latest trends, the people who are actually making the technology and creating the marketplace. And at 1 p.m. Eastern on Wednesdays, we are talking to companies going through digital transformation who share experiences around that. And we're adding a segment on Thursday at 12:30 p.m. Sydney time, Australia time. We're going to have a show in local Sydney, Australia, with a host who's a local resident of Australia. So we're going to be adding an Asia Pacific show at 7:30 p.m. Pacific, 12:30 p.m. local time in Sydney. It's going to be 10:30 a.m. in Malaysia and 8:30 a.m. in India. So we're excited to be adding an Asia Pacific focused show with local guests in those markets, local companies in those markets. So stay with us as we make this happen over the next probably couple of months. We're preparing to do so, and we're going international. That's really the big announcement.
International, it is.
What do we got coming up the rest of this week, Carlos? We got like 50 seconds left.
Okay, we got 2 shows, Tulio. We got a conversation with the founder and CEO of Niagara Networks, Ben Askarinam, and Zeeb Dreyer, the founder and CEO and the VP of Corporate Strategy and Marketing, respectively. And on Thursday, we'll be speaking with DV Kashi, the principal at Deed.com. So that's what we have. We have 2 shows this week.
All right. See you all back tomorrow at 12 o'clock, 12 p.m. Pacific. Stay safe.
Bye.